Hi, this is Carmela with Equine Helper, and today I wanted to give you 10 points for traveling with your horse. So, traveling with your horse can seem really stressful. So these tips will hopefully help to make your travel easy and prepare you for everything that may happen along the way. So my first point is to choose the right trailer. There are many different kinds of trailers to choose from. You have stock trailers, which are more open, kind of like this. You have straight load trailers where your horse will just walk right on, straight, and back down. You also have slant load trailers where the horse loads kind of on a slant and there's a divider between them. So you have all these different kind of trailers, and it's just important to find the right one that will suit your needs and suit your horses, but also provide correct ventilation and the space that you need if you're taking multiple horses. So all of those things are things to consider when looking for a trailer for your travel. My second point is to inspect your travel trailer and your vehicle ahead of time. This is because you're going to want to get the correct registrations. Some states require an inspection sticker, so you want to make sure you check with your state to see if you need that. Another thing is you want to do a walkthrough of your trailer to make sure there's no sharp points that could injure your horse, and if there are, you can put padding down and pad the walls just to make it a safer environment for your horse. My third point is ensure your horse can safely enter and exit the trailer. This is important. Imagine on your travel day you go to load your horse and they don't want to load, and sooner or later you end up spending 2 hours trying to get them to load on the trailer, and sadly they won't get on. So unfortunately, this is something that happens with a lot of people. Horses aren't usually fans of trailers just because it's a tight spot. They could become claustrophobic. So you want to make sure you allow yourself time to work with your horse on loading and getting on the trailer and being calm and staying calm also on the trailer. And this will just ensure that your horse is safe and that you're safe when it comes to loading. My fourth point is do a test drive before extended travel. There are a number of reasons for this. So I used to have a horse that they would load perfectly, they'd get right on the trailer, you could shut them in. As soon as you started to pull away, they would freak out, fall on the ground. It was this big thing. So we really needed to work with her to get her comfortable riding on the trailer while it was moving. So I would not want to take that horse on extended travel if she was going to be falling down, because that is very dangerous. So make sure your horse can handle the travel, and also make sure you can handle driving the trailer. Driving a trailer is intimidating. You're lugging something big behind you. So that test drive will just kind of show you the ropes of what it's going to be like traveling with the horse and the trailer. My fifth point is to make a travel checklist. So horses come with a lot of stuff, and if you're going to a show or a trail ride or you're moving, there's a lot of stuff you're going to need to take with you. You're going to need hay and water. You're going to need tack. You're going to need other supplies. So having a checklist ahead of time will just help you to keep track of everything that you're going to need, and it will just make everything a lot easier for you. My sixth point is to prepare your travel documents. So this can look like a vehicle registration, your inspection, your license, but also documents you may need for your horse. So basically everywhere you take your horse is probably going to require a negative Coggins test. And I know that you can't get into a lot of shows without it. You can't go to a boarding stable without a negative Coggins test. The Coggins test shows that your horse is clear of equine infectious anemia, which is a contagious disease, and it is basically uncurable. So it just shows that they don't have that. It's required for most places, so make sure you have that. Some places will require a physical exam, registration papers, anything you need if you're showing. Those registration papers will probably be, you'll want those. So just keep that in mind. Add that to your checklist so you make sure you have them. Number 7 is check the weather ahead of time. If it's going to be really hot when you're traveling, that means you're probably going to want to stop more to check on your horse. The trailer is like a car. You know, if you sit in a hot car on a hot day, it's uncomfortable. And unfortunately, people die from it, animals die from it. So you just want to check your horse if it's hot to make sure that they're traveling well. You want to give them a lot of water, provide them with food, just to ensure that they're taken care of. And also just to look at your weather map and see if there's any inclement weather on the way. That can kind of determine where you're going to be stopping and taking your breaks. And it's just also to ensure that, you know, you have a safe travel and that you don't run into anything that could possibly be dangerous. Number 8 is bring first aid supplies. So I really hope that nothing will happen that you will need your first aid kit, but it's like insurance. You have it so you can use it if you need it. Imagine traveling and you're in a part of the country you know nothing about, and something happens to your horse and you have to contact a vet, and you don't know any vet in that area. It can be a very stressful situation. So having that first aid kit on hand can give you kind of peace of mind. Also make sure you can administer basic first aid if you need to your horse. So that could be like leg wrapping or cleaning out a cut or anything like that that could possibly happen. Tip 9 would be to take steps to avoid shipping fever. So shipping fever is an illness that comes upon horses during travel. It's because when you tie a horse in a trailer, they can't really put their head down, and horses were made to be able to put their head down. And putting a horse's head down allows all the particles to drain from their sinus area and all that good stuff. So it's easy for horses to have that drain down when they're in a trailer since their head is always up. So ways to avoid this would be to clean out the trailer ahead of time, you know, dust out all the particles and dust that may be in there. Also, make sure your trailer has good ventilation so that the particles won't get stuck in the air so your horse breathes them in. Make sure you're providing enough food and water to your horse. Just, you know, to decrease that chance of them getting shipping fever. And shipping fever is very common in horses that have to travel long distances. So being aware of that ahead of time will help you look for the signs during your travel. My last tip, tip 10, is to use trailer bedding. So most trailer bottoms are either made out of planks of wood or steel. And while you're traveling over the road, you know, you're going to be hitting bumps. And that absorption kind of goes up through the horse's legs, and it can cause them to get really sore and their joints to get stiff. So if you put down bedding, you can put down rubber mats is a big one, or even sawdust. It allows, number one, for absorption if your horse were to go to the bathroom, so it wouldn't become slippery. But it also just kind of cushions them from that horrible bumping and vibration that they may feel. It also makes cleaning out the trailer a lot easier because you can just sweep out the sawdust or brush out the mats. So always think about that. And so I hope you have great and safe travels. We actually have 20 tips on our website about traveling with a horse. So you can go to equinehelper.com/travel to see all of those tips. I just want to thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a great time on your travels and do well at your shows and everything in between.